Okay, we're live now. You guys are obviously muted. And I'm going to start the intro. One. We're on.
And welcome to the Dave K Show. Good evening or afternoon, wherever you may be. In this beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon, I'm David K. Gyra with my beautiful co-host, Miss Carstil DaSilva. How you doing, Carstil?
I'm great. How are you today, Dave?
I'm doing good. Do you feel as good as you look?
Oh, I feel wonderful. It's
Awesome.
always wonderful to be here.
You must be feeling pretty good right now.
Oh, yeah.
I always like to flatter my guests and my co-host, but anyway.
You're too much.
So welcome everybody for watching today. We have a great jam-packed show again for you. Look, we're going to be true to our calling and our mission, which is showcasing Louisiana talent, and that's exactly what we have today. We're going to give you some raw, local Louisiana talent, specifically in the film industry. So we are looking forward to hearing from our guest today, right?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yes, before we get started any further, I want to go ahead and let's give a shout out to some of our cross promoters right here. Who are they, Ms. Carstel?
Oh, definitely. Well, first, I want to give a shout out to PointCapeeReporter.com. PointCapeeReporter.com is Point Capee's oldest locally owned, continuously operating news website since 2012.
Yes.
They have been Point Capee's news and information hub. Check them out at PointCapeeReporter.com. Don't forget to check out Point Capee's online news and information hub. Media articles about Point Capee. Dial them up on the web at PointCapeeReporter.com.
Definitely. And who else down here at the bottom?
Point Capee banner, Point Capee's oldest and only paper, now on Facebook.
Yeah, so we have digital, we have paper. What's that, Tim?
That's great. That's great that people still do that.
Yes, definitely. So we always like to cross-promote everybody. So we always say that the trifecta of news in Point Capee Parish is the PointCapeeReporter.com, the Point Capee Banner, and the Dave K Show. You're going to get all your news and information between those three sources right there. So we're proud to sponsor and host each other.
Definitely.
All right, with that being said, so we have a very special guest today. We're going to bypass our little takeoff row and go right into who we have today. We got so first of all here, that you're a very busy working actress, and you're always got something going on, right?
You flatter me.
No, you are though. Really, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, yes, you're all over the place. So what that translates into our special guest today is actually a production that you have recently worked on.
Yes,
So she's a very special guest, a good friend of yours. I met her as a friend today and everything. Let's get down to brass tacks here. The filmmaking community is one big family. We are all one big family. No matter what stories you tell, no matter who you hooked up with or whatever, we're one big family. And let's break it down to Louisiana in general. The Louisiana filmmaking is one big filmmaking family.
Oh, definitely.
Louisiana filmmakers.
Definitely.
We are a breed of our own, right? So yeah, we love Los Angeles. We call Louisiana the other LA. Los Angeles, Louisiana's the other LA.
Oh, wait, definitely
Hollywood South.
Yes.
Hollywood South.
Yes.
This is where it's at. Don't go to Atlanta. Don't go to Hollywood. Don't go to Los Angeles. Come to Louisiana to make your films, right?
Yep.
And we
Make it where you live.
Yes.
Make it where you live.
Thank you. Right, homegrown. Right, because we have such beautiful resources in Louisiana. We have all the locations. We got we're very diverse. We have New Orleans with all its locations. South Louisiana with the bayous. We can get into some big cities like Shreveport. We can go urban. We can go country. We can go anywhere you want to go.
Definitely.
Yes, right. So I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce our guest today, our very special guest, and we're going to be doing like a little rotating round table of everybody that's associated with our project. So go ahead, Carstil, take it away.
Very happy to introduce the beautiful Faydra Thomas with Babii Fay Productions.
Yes, welcome.
She's here in the studio with us.
Welcome.
Thank you all so much for having me.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you today?
Yes, I'm doing great. Well, congratulations on your films coming up, right?
Thank you.
Why don't you do this? We know you did a recent film, right? First of all, let's let you introduce yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
Okay. Well, my name is Faydra Thomas, and I am the owner of Babii Fay Productions. I'm a filmmaker here in Louisiana, and I'm a storyteller. So
Yes.
I wanted to do these films to kind of tell my story. I've been making them, so might as well make some of my stories.
That's right.
That's great. I got to ask you, how did you get the name Babii Fay Productions?
My grandfather.
Okay.
My
yeah.
grandfather used to call me Babii Fay, and when I went to go coin the name of what I wanted my production company to be, he was heavy on my heart because he didn't get to see me do films.
Wow.
He
Right.
died like 2 months before I got on my first set. So
Come on,
did
wow.
Babii Fay Productions.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
love it. So it's like a little, a memorial to him, basically.
Yes.
So every time you mention that name, it's like you remember.
Yes.
That is, I love that. That is amazing. And most people do have very, very, touching meanings for the names of their production companies. And I always like to hear, what they are and everything. What got you interested in filmmaking?
Believe it or not, a television show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
was,
Will Smith.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, and I got to actually meet Janet Hubert. I worked with her on set.
Really?
So it
How'd
was
that
like
come about?
amazing. Oh, it was amazing. I was the script supervisor for a project,
Awesome.
and she was one of the actresses. So I got to meet her.
Amazing.
But I just had my brother that I grew up in the house with, and I wonder what my life would be like if I had more siblings around. And I saw how they would interact after the cameras were cut. So I was
right.
like, oh, they are a family. So that's what made me get into film. Actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Was it hard to break into making films?
Yeah, because I didn't know where to go or who to speak with, and so
Right.
it just kind of all came together.
Right.
Yeah.
How about securing the equipment to make films? How was that?
Yeah, it
Right.
was a little harder,
Right.
but I'm grateful for the family I have and
Yes.
my team. So I was
Right.
able to get some things thanks to my family, mostly my mother, and then just kind of things start falling into place.
Right, and the cool thing about now living in in the day that we're living in is like there's no excuse for anybody not to be able to make films if you want to do it. Your phone, if nothing else, is a great video camera. Video cameras, nice quality video cameras, are cheaper and cheaper. DSLRs are cheaper and cheaper.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so it's very very easy to get into. There's no excuses.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I use my phone all the time for video auditions.
Yes.
And I mean, you can do everything.
Yes, you
with
can.
cell phones nowadays. So.
Absolutely. Yes, that sounds great. So let's go back to the last two films that you just did. I want to kind of be kind of recent here. So tell us about the previous film that you did, which is When Love's a Game.
Okay. When Love's a Game, I wrote it maybe in like 2008. I was still going to Southern University at the time. And I started writing on it, but I didn't go back and visit it again until 2011 when I was attending LSU. And I was taking a filmmaking class, and I revamped it. And then I did it one final time in 2017. And the group that I let read it, they were like, okay, so when we're doing it. And it just became like this thing, and we ended up doing it.
That's amazing, and that really goes with the theme that we were talking about the other day. We were talking about this, that usually most films from concept to completion take several years.
Yes.
And and sometimes we make the mistake of telling our friends, "I'm working on a movie," and you should have said that because they're gonna bug you.
Yes.
And 2 years down the line, where's your movie at? I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So people need to know, when to do it right. Sometimes it takes a little time.
Yes.
And like yours was 2008, 2011, and 2017.
Yes.
But I tell you what, it's worth the wait, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
To do it right. Yes.
Yeah.
So has that film been premiered yet, or has it come out yet?
It will be premiered December 1st at Dead Poet venue in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So that's when it'll be premiered finally.
All right,
Yeah.
excellent. So to take us from that film to the one that Carstil, of course, worked on. So your current film now.
Okay. Thanks, Dad. I started writing on it in 2016, end of 2016, beginning of 2017.
Okay.
And it's just basically about a young man who is growing up, and he's going to his father for advice on different situations.
Mhm.
So at the end of each situation, he says, "Thanks, Dad." So that's where the title for that came from. But
Interesting. Is there like a little plot twist to it?
it is actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we won't give that away. We won't give that
You'll have to
away.
come to the premiere to find out.
Yes,
Right.
and that would
Yes.
also be the premiere for that. It's also December 1st. I'll have that played
Great.
before When Love's a Game.
Awesome. Is the general public invited to that, or is that by invitation only? How does that work?
No, come by.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's the time for the premiere so we can let everybody out there know what time to come to Dead Poets?
The time is 4 to 7 p.m.
Okay, and is there a ticket charge for the general public?
Tickets are $5 on Eventbrite, but
Okay.
I'm just like, come see it. You know, if you
Right.
have $5, drop it in the bucket.
Love
if
it.
you don't,
Love
still
it.
come see it. Yeah.
That's great.
That's great.
Love it, love it. It sounds good. All right, well, sounds great. So, so the Thanks Dad is really, really cool. So, tell us, where do you get the inspiration from your stories and your films?
Something that has happened in my life, and then I'll take it and kind of embellish it. But I write myself or my situations in
Right.
everything that I write.
Those are the most powerful stories,
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, they really are.
Those are the most powerful ones, the ones that really, really mean something to you. Well, so tell us a little bit about the casting process, and Thanks Dad. And tell us a little bit about the team that you assembled, and maybe kind of we'll do some brief introductions. You want to go ahead and kind of rotate those next, Carstil?
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
That would be great.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, tell us that.
So awesome. So Thanks Dad. Pretty much I use 3 actors from When Love's a Game. And Terrence Gibbs, he played my husband in When Love's a Game, so he plays the father in Thanks Dad.
Okay.
Then we have Brittany L. Jackson, and she was one of my best friends in When Love's a Game.
Okay. Yeah.
So she's the mother in Thanks Dad.
She plays Fiona, right? About Brittany because how she's kind of doing like multiple tasks and everything, and
Oh,
that's what's great about short films, right? So sometimes you got to multitask and do more than one thing.
Yes, yes.
That
yes.
is so cool about short films, and those people that's the way you get a little bit of experience doing a little bit of everything, and you can tie those experiences up to make you a better, well-rounded actor and crew member,
Well,
right?
especially with Faydra.
Pull up
we-
Carstil's mic a little bit, Tim. Crank it up a little bit if you can. Go ahead. Sorry.
Especially, I know working with Faydra, we all work together as
There you
a
go.
team, and we help out wherever's needed. So everybody that's in this movie has worked as actors, actresses, and they've worked crew.
That's
So whenever they're
great.
not acting, they work as crew.
Yes, and that shows too.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, without further ado, you want to start bringing some people in, or what? What you want to do?
Yeah. So I guess we'll start with maybe let's start with Erin. So I
Erin?
met Erin on
Okay.
set.
Okay.
And she actually
Come on in, Erin.
just
Let's
jumped
bring
on
her in.
board.
Yeah.
She told
Erin
me
Mulder here.
she would jump in and be my still photographer. So
Great.
she became my still photographer, and then she ended up
Yeah,
acting,
folks.
and then she ended up doing camera, and then she ended up doing sound. So
Awesome.
it just kind of
Great.
happened.
I love that. That's awesome. So how you doing, Erin?
I am fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Long time no see.
It's so long.
I know. So we were at our good buddy
Last
Gene
night,
Franquez always comes up in our shows, but we
He
were at
does.
Gene's last night taking pictures for our podcast.
Oh wow, yeah, we
He
it
might
was
as well-
a late night.
He
Right.
might as well
It was
be
a
a
late
permanent
night.
fixture here. Just get a
I know,
little cut
right?
out of him.
I'm gonna do a cardboard cutout of Gene. How about that? He, like how he does all the time.
Put him right over there in the corner.
That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Right. That is
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, that's great. So, and see what I just said is proof. This is proof of what I just said. The filmmaking community is one big community. I mean, all of us kind of know somebody who knows somebody in the filmmaking community, and case in point, right here.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes.
And that's how I met Miss Faydra here.
All right.
we
So,
were-
so did you come into this project thinking you were going to do one thing and wind up doing a bunch of things? How'd that work?
I met Miss Faydra here, and she said she had a project going on, and I said, hey, if you need any kind of help whatsoever, in fact, do you have anybody that takes pictures for you for behind the scenes stuff? And she said, no, that would be a great idea.
Awesome.
And that's pretty much how it started.
I love it. That's great.
But I'm trying to learn everything from both sides of the camera.
Right.
So.
So, what do you consider yourself proficient at right now in the filmmaking world? That where some people might want to hire you or have you on to some other projects.
Actress.
Actress. That's your main gig right
Yes,
now, right?
Yeah.
Good.
That's definitely me.
Good. So you do comedy, drama, you do horror, you do.
I
what
can
do
do
you
whatever you need. I
Come
am
on.
versatile.
Awesome. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. That's great. That is very, very good. That sounds great. So, how was your experience working with the film and working with the whole crew?
It's been phenomenal. This is such a great group of people. Like you wouldn't even believe how close everybody is, and it's all because of her.
No.
Awesome. Love it.
She is the linchpin to this whole thing. So if she loses her mind, we got a job.
Right.
I'm halfway
Right.
there
We've
now.
got to keep
so.
Miss Faydra
Right.
happy.
That's
Right.
right. Yes.
Right.
The
So
diva.
talk a little bit, Faydra, about the crew in general that you had working behind the camera. What was your experiences working with these people right here?
Oh, I love them. They just jumped in, whatever they offered to help, and I took it literally. Like, okay, well, since you want to help,
Right.
and they no complaints, phenomenal.
Great.
Just
Great.
jumped in and you know,
Great.
helped
Now
out.
this, of course, was a micro low budget film. We were talking about it earlier before we came on the air. Like, it's a low budget film, and when you get a group of hardworking people to come together for a low budget, micro budget film and work hard and do a great job, you know they're in it for the right reasons.
Oh, yeah.
They're not in it for the money. They're not in it for the glory or the fame. They're in it to help you tell your story, and that is so cool. I love that.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
So there's no better definition of teamwork than in the filmmaking community, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Add-
definitely.
talk about that. Talk about something, Carstil. You got any questions for him? Because I know you worked on the film also and everything. So how was your experience working with everybody?
Oh man, it was awesome, you know, and it makes it great when you're first off you're getting to do what you love, you know,
Right.
and then you get to go in and work with such a great positive group of people. We're all there. We're letting our creative juices kind of flow together
Right.
and working together as a team. And
Right. Now, what did you do on the film here? I'm trying to find your name on here.
I'm the recreation coordinator.
I got you.
I came, actually, Erin and I had worked together before, and she mentioned that she was doing a independent, and she spoke with Miss Faydra, and they brought me on board. And as far as crew, so I was trained. I was doing boom and all that good stuff, and she ended up kind of writing me in and gave me a little part in the movie, and I'm very grateful for it. And I think she's an amazing writer. I love her
Great.
vision, and I just look so forward to, you know, the projects she has coming up in the future. I really think that her movies are gonna, if the people that see it, they're gonna, it's gonna impact a lot of people.
Great. I love it. That's great. That's very, very good. So it says you're a recreation coordinator. Was that an actual casting part in the film, or was that something behind the scenes that you did? What is this right here?
No, that's actually the casting part in the film.
Okay, I got you.
So
Great. Well, that's great. So I saw something on here. I was looking at your paper. Let me see let me get my glasses. And I had a question I wanted to ask you.
get
Faydra.
your eyes.
Okay.
Right. And okay, so it says special VFX artist, Aaliyah Wells.
Aaliyah.
Wells.
Yes.
So without giving away too much of the film, special effects artist. So you had something little cool stuff going on in the
Yeah,
film.
a little blood.
Ah, blood.
Not
Okay,
Just a
gotcha.
little
Okay, right. Was it like cornstarch or in food coloring? Or?
I being honest about the situation, I honestly don't know what she did, and I think that's she's my little cousin. I went to school with
Okay.
her mother. Her mother's my classmate.
Okay, gotcha.
And,
You just let her do her thing.
Yeah, and she's 14.
That is
So,
great.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I've worked on several professional, like, multi-million-dollar movie sets, and for 14 years old, this girl blew my mind.
Wow.
I mean, she did I'm not just
she's a hard worker, huh?
Oh man, she did top notch on the special effects aspect. She really did.
That is
She
great.
surprised me. I
That is-
wasn't expecting.
Yeah, Faydra
Right.
showed me a picture from across the room, and I said, "Oh my gosh, who got shot?" And she said,
Call an ambulance.
She said, "Oh, that's what Aaliyah did." I said, "That, oh my!" I thought that was real, and I said, "How old is she?" She said 14. I said, "Oh, what?"
Wow, that's
Imagine
incredible.
when she gets older, you know, and
Right. So what
has
does she
more
want to do when she
experience.
grows up?
I'm not sure. I think she wants to kind of follow in her mom's footsteps. Her mom's in the nursing.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. She can still
field,
see
so
some
yeah.
blood in the nursing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know all about that.
Yeah.
You work for the
Yeah, the ambulance.
Arcadia.
Yeah,
Is it
Acadian ambulance. Yep.
Mhm.
Seen my share of that in my day for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's great. So, okay, well, that sounds great. So it sounds like you had a great time. I cannot wait to see this film. Can I come see it? Can we come with the Dave K show?
Absolutely.
You better.
I'm
We'll
joking,
think
right.
about it.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna bring my camera. Probably we'll like, get some interviews from y'all, and maybe we'll do like a little news package to put on our future episode, and to kind of promote y'all
Oh,
too better.
Is that
so.
okay?
Oh, that is more than okay.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds
Alright.
amazing.
Any
I'm-
PR is
I'm
good
for-
PR. Let me tell you.
Correct.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds good. And so yeah, we'll definitely do that. So you had a great time on the film, working on
I
it.
did. I loved playing Godmama.
Yeah.
I did, because you know I get to have all the fun with no responsibilities.
Ah, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
give
I
him back when
love
you finish
it.
with him, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You can have him now.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, well, that sounds great. Well, so we have quite a few people that are on the film, so let's kind of
That's
rotate
right.
everything.
All
But
right.
we're gonna be seeing you pretty soon. So
Well, thank you so much for having me.
yes, thanks
Thank
for coming
you,
out.
Aaron.
Thanks for
problem.
coming out so much. Definitely. All right, who we got coming up next here?
So next we have one of our cast members, and he helped out a lot on crew, and that's going to be Mr. Tyler Roberts.
Oh, Tyler Roberts. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I know that name probably sounds familiar
does,
to you.
it
You've
does.
actually worked
Yeah.
with Tyler before,
I
huh?
sure have. I got some stuff coming up too. Yeah, Lost and Found. So yeah, that sounds great. All right, welcome Tyler. How you doing?
Hey guys, how's it
Yes,
going?
yeah, the one and only Tyler Roberts. You're
That's
doing
me.
great. And wherever Tyler is, Nick Marchand won't be too far behind.
Yeah, you're right. It's
Right.
my sidekick.
Right. I tell you that.
His
And I,
partner in crime.
and I think I saw his name somewhere on here. Is he on here somewhere?
Yes, he.
Okay.
He
All right.
was,
Sounds good.
He was in the film.
Right. Now I wish you could have been here today. Because I see him a lot of times at events that we go to. Nick will show up, whatever. Like I think the film festival we saw him a few years back.
Yeah.
Baton
A
Rouge?
couple of I think it was a couple of the film festivals, some of their after parties and stuff. Really good networking there. You know, good times. Kind of run into the same people. You know, I've seen you at every single
Right.
one, which is good to have
Exactly.
that little family.
Oh, it is. Yeah, exactly. Come a little bit closer to the mics and we get you a boomy radio voice. There you go. Boom, just
There
like
we
that.
go.
So before we talk about Thanks Dad, I want to go a little bit further on something that you were recently involved with. You were recently involved with Chuck Bush, right, on a
Yeah.
project. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that. So we
So-
kind of see who Tyler Roberts is before we get to your film.
So with Chuck's project, it was a project called #Men2.
Ah,
So
that sounds familiar, right?
It's like it was inspired off of the Me Too movement, but the writer, she wrote this to show that not only women but also men as well, and everyone have experienced different kind of traumas sexually, you know, and it's not something that culture has taught us to, you know, men or to be quiet about it, and
Right.
not talk about things that have happened, and it's caused a lot of damage to a lot of people in the past.
Oh
so
my goodness.
that
Yes.
opens up the doorway to give people just an opportunity, a safe space to know that it's not without hope. You know, they can talk about
Yes.
it and be okay.
And making is this like a series or what is this? A short film? Or what
Yeah,
is it?
it's a series.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
We filmed the first episode, kind of introducing all of the characters and what we think might be their struggle points. You know, it has a lot of twists and turns,
Right.
but it's going to be multiple episodes.
I have to ask you this too because it has to be touching to play. To be involved in this thing because let me ask you this without mentioning names, but I have to ask: were some people involved in the project actually like been there, done that?
Or as far as like the actors have
Right.
real life experience.
Right. Exactly.
That not that I know of, maybe,
Right.
but I know that all of the characters were inspired off of real people, though.
right.
So
and that makes it.
yeah, we've changed
really
details to protect their identity, but yeah, it
Right.
was based off of all true stories.
Right, and it's amazing
Wow.
that y'all had the gall, I will say, to actually.
They 3-4 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I actually met her on a feature film that was produced by a church in Baton Rouge, Love Alive.
Oh, yeah.
And
okay.
it was a really cool experience, and that's where I met her. And from there, we kind of just connected, became friends, and we worked on a previous project, and then it just kind of
What
kept
church?
going from
What
there.
church in Baton Rouge was it?
Love Alive.
Oh, Love Alive Church.
Yeah.
Where's that church at? I never heard of that one before.
Where is
Alive.
that now, Faydra?
They're located off of I want to say Greenwell Springs.
Greenwell?
But
Okay.
they're All Nations Baton Rouge now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very so. It's cool to hear of a church being involved in films and stuff like that. That's really
Oh,
cool.
very cool.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Great. So, so you heard of the opening coming up and everything. Of course, you contacted her and she goes like, "Great." Did you do like any auditions or anything, or how did that work out?
No, I was actually over helping her with a past film, and it was one like they were saying about how everyone kind of helps out with crew and stuff like that. This, I'll tell you, it's a little sidetracked, but I've never seen a group of actors pull together as much as they do with Faydra's project.
Yeah.
Aw.
I really think that's
Yeah.
because Faydra is really one of the hardest working people I know, and she's not afraid to do every job.
Great.
So from there, it kind of encourages everyone else.
Right.
And then I may have been working Boom or something that day, and she just walked up and said, "Hey, you're going to be in my next film. This is your role." I was like, "Oh, all right."
She was right, wasn't she?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, the more and more good things I hear about you, I might have to pull you in on some of my projects. Maybe we can collaborate on some stuff.
I'm for it.
Yeah, that's great. That's
I think
awesome.
you
Well, very
guys
good.
would work really good together.
You think
Yeah.
so? Huh?
Oh, absolutely.
That is awesome. And us you know how us writers are. We got so many stories in our head. We started cranking out stories. We don't have the resources to put these things to life. So we're hoping that maybe we just put them on a back burner, and one day we'll get to them eventually, or maybe somebody will help us do the stories.
Get some fundraisers going.
Right. I know exactly. That's what you have to do. So that sounds great. So any other things that stick out in this film? Some of your experiences that come to light that you might want to kind of talk about?
I don't want to give too much away, but I will say that there are some twists and turns
Really?
for sure.
That's
yeah,
great.
there's a lot of deep emotions and raw emotions that touched me. Even when I wasn't acting at the time, I was just sitting there watching or helping with crew. That I caught myself getting emotional. I was like, "Oh wow!" I was like, "Okay, this is good."
Oh, man, yeah.
Every take to just see that it's real life things that happen, and
Right.
you don't always see it. Sometimes Hollywood will make it a little extra, a little more dramatic for the story, but these are real life things people going through, which is very relatable.
Yes. Have you seen the final cut yet of it?
No, I haven't.
Haven't yet. Is it
No.
ready to go right as we speak now? Or are you still working on it?
It's in post. It should be done tomorrow
Okay.
afternoon.
So
exciting.
you pleased with the progress so far?
Oh yeah. Just have
Great.
2 scenes to kind of finish, but the sounds there, it's just about ready to go.
Great. And
Yeah.
what's the length looking like approximately?
It's about 13 minutes.
13
It'll be about
minutes.
13 minutes
Okay,
with
great.
the
Yeah.
credits on both ends.
That's a nice length to kind of sit in for a short film. It's not too short, not too long. Do you have like any specially produced music for it, a soundtrack or anything, or did anybody make any music?
My friend Jesse Wallace, he took care of the sound and the music for it.
Great.
Yeah.
Jesse Wallace. So you want to put a
Awesome.
plug in for Jesse Wallace?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's
Jesse
great.
J. Pro Wallace in New
Right.
Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans. Okay,
Shout out.
great.
Now,
Great.
didn't Jesse Wallace, he also helped with your banners and posters as
Yes,
well, huh?
he did
Designing
my
those.
posters.
Great.
He did my posters also.
Well, he's definitely your go-to guy for that too. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, well, Tyler, appreciate you, man.
thank
let me,
you, guys.
Sure. Let me tell people that what we're working on in the future. So we have our next short film that I'm going to be doing, Lost and Found. We do have Paul in the back burner right now because of budgetary reasons. It's $33,000. I'm not afraid to say how much it costs. So we're still working on that right now. So Lost and Found is a way more inexpensive film to produce, but you're going to be, of course. I don't even have to audition Tyler because I know I want him on there. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
all right, exactly. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody else that I would choose to be in this film except for you because, like I said, you're going to be playing an angel, and you can be playing the maitre d' who looks like the angel because you'll be the same person playing 2 different people. And Lost and Found is going to be a really, really eye-opening story that teaches people, hold on to the things in life that matter and let go of the things that don't, because what really, really matters in life are relationships, personal things, not material things.
Wow.
So that's
yeah.
going to be a really cool thing. So
Well, I'm honored. Thank you for saying that, and thank you for thinking
Sure.
of me because
Absolutely.
that's something that's going to impact a lot of people.
yes, absolutely.
So-
And you may even be on board with this too. I'm going to call you up afterwards.
Okay.
Yes, right. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it's really cool when people can collaborate that we worked on the previous projects
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
It makes us that more tighter,
Yes.
And I'll tell you also with Unit 68, the film that we did, the paramedic film,
Yes.
I've had a few people walk up to me randomly and say, "Hey, are you
Uh-uh.
the paramedic from the Unit 68?" I was like,
Really?
"Yeah."
Wow.
It's like,
Come
"Yeah,
on.
that's me."
That's
so
awesome.
That
It's
is
a
I just
great
want to say
feeling,
that
huh?
that's
Great.
received really well. Yeah.
That is great. That film actually is Acadian Ambulance' official recruiting film right now. So
Oh, wow.
all 4,700 employees have watched that film because you have to go through all the things with Acadian. So That's
Oh,
amazing.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
So internally they have the film on. I think it's on their the Katie and Amos Vimeo page or whatever. So it's like, wow, this is pretty cool.
That's
Yeah, that is awesome. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I heard on My Scene TV, they actually had a replay last weekend that Unit 68 segment was on that we did a little thing. So
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna
pretty
have to talk to some paramedics. Like, hey, did you see me?
all right, exactly. It's funny. It's funny that nobody's probably tried to recruit you. Go like, Tyler, can you please come work for Katie? And we got a paramedic shortage, man. 'Cause, you know.
Well,
You'd be
actually,
perfect.
the paramedics on set that day, they were like, "You look like a real paramedic." I was like, "Well, thanks." I was like, Dave's teaching me all the skills, but
Right. Right.
well,
That's
thank you
hilarious.
so much for having me on today.
Sure, man.
Thank you so
And
much,
yeah,
Tyler.
thank you.
Tell Nick we said hello.
All right, we'll do.
All right, sounds great. All right, sounds great. All right, who else we got coming up next?
Okay.
I got a lot of phone calls to make after the show.
All right, Miss
Brittany?
Faydra, who do we have next?
Miss Brittany L. Jackson, and while she's on her way, I want to just say this: she's gonna give me, but I'm fine with it. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yes.
Now she is a member of the church that produced the film that Tyler was in, where we met.
Okay.
But her brother passed last year,
Okay. Sorry
and
to hear that.
the day after his funeral, she came to do my short, the Prodigal Brother, which
Yeah.
is how, because of that love and commitment she had to that, that's why she came back for When Love's a Game as well as for
Yes,
Thanks
indeed.
Dad.
Yeah,
So
we're
I just
so
want to
sorry
say
to
the
hear
type of person that Brittany is, you know,
Yes.
to go through something like that and still
Yes.
look
I'll
out for
tell you
her
what.
friends.
That's
you know?
you're a class act. I'll tell you already.
No, thank you.
That is great. Yeah. So
That's dedication.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's kind of like putting yourself secondary to more important things at the
yeah.
time. You know.
Mm-hmm.
We sure appreciate it. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
so glad-
you
so
for
glad-
coming, Miss
yeah.
Brittany.
Yeah,
No
so glad to have you
problem.
here. So, how far back do y'all two go together?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Well, a little bit more than Tyler.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
right. More than 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
right? I got you. So how did you hear about the film? Y'all were just talking and you heard about it?
I
or?
think we talk about every film that either one of us
Yeah.
Right.
are writing or something. So we have a very close friendship. And anytime she has a project or anytime I have a project, we're kind of talking about it. And we
Right.
already tell each other, hey, you're going to be doing this, right? Like, you're going
Right, exactly,
you're going to be
right.
We're
helping
not
do this.
asking,
So,
we're telling.
yeah,
This
we
is what you're
telling.
gonna do.
pretty
Yes,
much.
right.
Yeah.
Before everybody else knows about it, y'all are already talking about stuff behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. So as far as your acting experience, have you had any formal acting training, or you kind of just kind of winging it?
Yeah, it's crazy. My personality, a lot of people have told me I should be on TV, and I was like, what are you talking about? Are you kidding me? And I want to say it was like in 2013, I was approached by Steve Harvey at Essence Festival, and he told me that I should do comedy, like not on a stage, but like comedy acting. And so I was just like, you're crazy. And
Right. Was that a joke too? No.
yeah, I definitely thought that was hilarious. But yeah, so I started with my church. I co-wrote a film, and then as I was behind the scenes, I just know it's like I kind of wanted to jump in front of the camera.
Mhm,
So and
right.
Faydra kind of gave me the opportunity, so I took it and I ran with it.
That's
and
great.
trying to kill it ever
That seems
since.
like a common story, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's things just kind of line up correctly, and you kind of open that little door and go through, and you go like, "This is really cool."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anything to
And
add?
and I have to say, I think my second day on set, this woman's got some acting chops. Let me tell you.
All right.
I'm not gonna give the movie away, but there was one part where I thought I was gonna break down crying. She was like so into her character. It was just, it
Yeah.
was mind blowing.
Thank you.
Mind blowing.
Thank you.
Love it, love it, love it. That is great. So, how has this film impacted you personally?
Oh, I don't know. I guess with this one's a lot more fun to me. I've done 3 for you so
Mhm.
far.
Wow.
So this one was just a little bit more fun. I got to kind of be a mama, and everybody. I'm always the mama of my friends.
Right.
So for me to be able to kind of get into that character was a lot of fun for me. So,
Right.
yeah.
Not much acting going on because it's kind of like who you really are. Right? That's great. That is good. Very
Yeah.
good. Well, that sounds good. Anything else you want to tell us about your experiences with the film that kind of stick out for you, or really kind of hit home?
No, I'm just thankful. I know earlier I wanted to say that she said When Love's a Game happened because of me.
Right.
No, that's not the case.
Her.
What I think is that, as a friend, and I tell her all the time, like, she's my friend before anything. And so I'm going to always protect her and push her no matter what. So it was still her decision no matter how many times I told her, oh, you're going to do this film. It was still up to her to reach out to people, to cast people, and, actually do the film. So I just was the person in her ear saying, you're going to do this film.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you can take it from that aspect where like everybody produces the show to make a better whole. We're all there's no person that's really above or below it either because we need everybody.
Yep.
Just like we always say, like a background. I'm just background. No, you're not just background.
No.
You're very important.
Right, very important.
Yes, right.
Everybody
so
has a very
Hey,
important
look, if
role.
you're going,
Background's very important.
if you're getting in your little Ford Focus and you're going to the grocery store to get some snacks for everybody,
Mhm.
you are important. 'Cause
Right.
guess what? We got to eat.
Definitely. You don't want to be
So-
hangry.
Right, right.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
really bad.
Especially not me. Aaron could tell you, don't let me get hungry.
Uh-oh, I don't even want to go
I-
there.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I
Right,
get.
well, I'll
I
take your
get
word for it.
bad. I get bad.
That sounds good. Well, I cannot wait to see this film. Let me tell you, I will be there. I'm going to support you. We're going to. We're
Awesome.
both, of course, you're going to be there because you're in it.
Absolutely.
But we will. After the new year, which we're going to be doing too. So, and I'm sure you got some other stuff coming up. You ain't finished yet. You got some more stuff.
Oh,
You
no,
just
no.
getting started.
Absolutely.
That's what
Absolutely.
that's
Thanks
great.
to them, I see it happening now.
Great. Let me ask
Yeah.
one thing too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. Well, real quick before we bring the next
Yeah, go
person
ahead.
up, Faydra. So, Miss Faydra here, she has another project in the works, a web series. You want to give us a little quick
Okay.
insight on this web series you have coming out?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
really quickly, the web series is pretty much still starring the same wonderful group of people. And it's kind of exploring different relationship avenues. So Carstil's on it, Aaron's on it, Tyler's on it, Brittany's on it, Terrence on it.
God, great.
So basically, they kind of all didn't have a choice. It was kind of like, oh, so this is who you're playing, and
Right.
so, and they're like, oh, wait, and so, okay, Faydra, okay,
Right.
yeah,
Get your phone out. Make room in your schedule.
yeah. So this is what we're doing. This is when we're doing it, and so I'm hoping to start. Finish writing. I'm still in the very early stages of post production, but I have a few episodes together, and I have cliffhangers for each couple, so that way if we survive the first season, then we'll pick up where
Yeah,
it
you'll
left
be
off,
ready.
and if not, then it'll just end there.
Sure.
But I'm hoping to start premiering the episodes starting in February. So,
Great.
yeah,
I cannot
so,
wait. That's going to be great. I wanted to ask you also, do you see like a feature film in the works for you in the future?
I do. I see one next year. We'll do it that
Okay,
way.
right. Yeah, that's a big thing that you all fight over
Yeah.
there, feature film.
Yeah.
I want to do maybe 10 shorts before I attempt my first feature.
Oh yeah.
And so, because
That's a good goal.
yeah, it's a learning experience. It really is. Although maybe that's kind of like maybe too much, but for me, the way that I work, I'd rather just get 10 good shorts under my belt and then go for that feature.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
real quick before, because we got to move on. I know
Yes.
we're on a time crunch here.
Yes.
If you could just give us a quick run through, Faydra, just kind of let people know about the characters and the movie and just some of the stuff what they can expect. What can they expect out of the web series coming out?
Okay. For the web series, so Brittany, she plays a character, loud character, very very loud character, and so she's married to his real name is Josh. So they're married, and then Carstil is married to Josh's brother, who is Nick.
Okay.
And
right.
so,
Right. So it's interrelational marriage, right?
Yes, yes, and then
that adds a little drama, right?
Oh
there.
yeah,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's the
Oh,
whole
wow.
purpose of that. And the
Yeah.
funny thing
And
about it is,
me and her, we got like a little beef going
they're
on.
sister-in-laws, and they kind of have this, like they just stay into it. But the beautiful thing
I'm hooked
about
already.
it,
I hadn't even seen it.
the beautiful thing about it is that there is a situation that comes up with Brittany's character, and the first person she goes to is her sister-in-law. So it shows that,
Okay.
you know, even
Never
though
spot.
they're into it, there's some love there.
Right.
But they basically stay into it. Erin is Carstil's sister. Tyler and Terrence, which you'll meet Terrence next, they grew up together. So basically the story hinges off of Terrence's character, and then Tyler is kind of like the second there on the
Right.
number 2. And
Yeah.
so Erin is his wife. Erin is Tyler's wife. And then Terrence is my husband. So just kind of recycling things and,
Yeah,
and
interesting.
keeping everybody in the loop, and everybody, like I said, has been so wonderful. And I mean, I couldn't ask for a better group
Yeah.
of people.
And so in this web series, are there like 1 or 2 stories that are kind of like intermingled, like going on at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
that's-
there's definitely going to be comedy tones, right?
Yeah.
That's always good. Yeah, comic relief. That's great.
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's
So just
Well, that sounds great. Okay, well, I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Yes,
Brittany.
yes, indeed. We'll see you soon for sure. We just getting all kind of people up in here.
Okay.
I thought I made my table long enough, but I guess I didn't.
So next we're going to bring up Mr. Terrence Gibbs.
And he plays, of course, Mr. Anthony Harris
Yes.
Sr.
yes,
Yes, he is
All right.
Anthony Harris
Yeah.
Sr. And
All right.
And my son in real life, my biological son played his son in the film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
oh wow,
Great. Yeah, that is great. How you doing?
Doing great. How are y'all?
We have never been better. So,
thank you for joining us today,
Thank y'all
Terrence.
for having me.
Yes, of course, these are all familiar faces pretty much, so that's great. So this is a great project to be involved with as far as I can tell. I think y'all going to touch some people with this. I know you're proud to be a part of this project.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your experiences and give us a little rundown.
This has definitely been a major experience, like for me, because I'm not an actress. But I've been on 2 films and a short, so I guess so.
Yeah, well, technically you are now.
Yeah.
That's right, you are. That's great. So tell us a little bit about the character that you play here.
Anthony Senior, very humble guy. He's amazing. You know, very a good father figure. I'll say that. And I'm so excited because I'm new to this all, so it's just like
It's almost like information
good.
overload, right? There's
Yeah.
so much stuff.
Yep.
Man. Well, that's great. So so how in the world did Faydra get a hold to you, and how'd you get involved in this project?
I met Faydra through Brittany. Actually, we started off doing plays at the church.
Okay, yeah.
And Faydra came in. I actually thought she was mean by the look that she gives. But very sweet, very humble,
Right.
an amazing writer. And yeah, we kind of linked up. They see more in me than I see in myself, actually.
Yeah, that's
So,
a good thing. And trust what
yeah.
they say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
that
I'm
is great.
excited.
Well, that is good. So is this going to kind of set the tone for you in the future to get involved in some more projects?
Most definitely.
Great.
It will. I look forward.
That's awesome. Very, very good. So, Faydra, tell us a little bit about what you think about his performances. Did you think you made the right decision in getting him on board?
Absolutely. The first project that we worked on together, like you said, was Brittany's play, and then after that, we were just talking about the film, and Brittany was like, "Okay, so you gonna ask Terrence or what?" And I'm like, "Okay." So I asked him, and I didn't think he would be interested. He was like, "Okay, let's go."
Most he can do is say no.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
yeah, and
Right.
so
Right.
he was just phenomenal, very accommodating, very humble person.
Great.
And anything that I ask of him, he's there. He's very positive. So it was plenty of days that I wanted to just like throw in the towel, and
Yes.
he would just actually bring forth a word, and it would calm me down. And he speaks things. Because I remember one day, just quickly, I was like, "Well, you all have jobs to get to, so," and he was like, "No, this is your job." And so just that, just somebody having that much faith and belief in you
Right.
to speak up for you and be positive with you, that meant a lot to me. So definitely just his personality. I haven't even begun to touch the talent that he has. But
right.
yeah, so I definitely know I made the right decision. And with this character for Thanks Dad, I knew I wanted nobody else but him to play that, because I knew he would bring the sensitivity to that character that I needed. Same thing with the web series coming up. I know nobody else can do it like Terrence, so I definitely made the right choice, and I'm very grateful that he accepted, those roles.
That's
so, yeah.
great. Yeah, Carstil, did you work with him directly, or did y'all have any interactions in the film?
No, Terrence and I didn't have any interactions as far as acting wise in this film. But I did get a chance to, since I was working crew, I got to see his acting abilities. I think he's a very talented actor as well. I mean, all of them, honestly, are talented. She's got a wonderful crew in place. Everybody has very strong acting abilities and different strong points. But I think it's going to be a very, very good film. Everybody was able to portray the character, I think, the way that she wanted them to portray it. So
Right.
I'm super excited. I can't wait till the premiere, honestly.
Yes, that's going to be very good. Very, very good. Well, that is awesome, man. So tell us maybe some high points that stick out during the film. What kind of sticks out in your mind that, wow, those are memories I'm going to take with me forever?
Right. I had a lot of memorable moments, a lot of things that pulled me out of my comfort zone with, filming. But it was great. Like, I can't say that I've had those experiences before. So it actually put me in others' shoes that did go through, certain things and certain obstacles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
that's great, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, working on a film is a team effort that draws everybody. It creates bonds like no other. I can go probably, if you work at a plant or something, you can work with all the people on your shift, and that's cool and everything. But I mean, when you work on a film, because what you're doing is you're all telling a story, you're all living characters, other people's characters and everything. And like you were saying, a lot of times, sometimes that'll hit home with you, and it'll strike a chord in you personally. Right. And there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Anything else you want to add to that?
I have
No,
one
not
other
quick
quick thing to say.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Faydra.
They're gonna kill me for it, but I'm okay with it. So it was a lot of singers on set of When Love's a Game. So I wanted to do like this big kind of like song where everybody jumped on board and sung something. So Brittany sings, his cousin Tierra sings, Colby sings. She's one of the characters from When Love's a Game, and Terrence sings. So when my best friend, Kirk studio, I don't, and that's my fault that I did not get the name of his studio.
Right.
But Kirkland, we use his studio, and brother Chris Honore, he actually got us in touch with him, and it was his beat. And
Chris Honore.
Yeah, he let us, he hooked us up, and Terrence and I went there, and Terrence made the song.
How long? Because I love this, because every short film that I do, I write a song and we do a music video for it. So how long did it? How was the collaborative process to writing the song? How did you come up with the lyrics? Are you inspired? Was it R&B, rock, or what kind of song was it?
It's R&B. And my best friend Andrea Scott, she lives in Atlanta. She wrote it for.
Okay, that's your
for
hometown.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
ATL.
All right.
It's open grounds.
Yeah, so she wrote it for me and for him to sing, but she did it as a favor for me.
Great.
Yeah. So
I love that. That is so cool. Yes. So what you need to do you need to make a music video out of this song.
She actually said that.
Really? See what I'm saying? Great minds
Wow,
think alike.
see? Oh,
See?
yeah.
And
Right.
he
Actually
plays
said
my
that.
husband. You see how men don't listen? You see?
right. Yeah.
I
so,
love it.
So we're gonna be waiting for that
We're
music
close to
video. I'm
50.
sorry.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. That's it. Where we at, Tim?
We're close to 50.
Close to 50. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna. So we have anybody else to bring to the table, or are we done pretty much?
That's
it? Okay.
That's everybody.
Well, we're going to wrap it up right here. So that sounds great. So let's get some closing thoughts from you as the you wrote, directed, and produced.
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So now, like I said, when Love's a Game, Brittany actually took care of feeding the cast and crew. Because at the time I honestly did not have it financially, so I was thinking that we would have to push the film further back. But one of the characters actually, she was pregnant at the time, and so she thought that it would kill my vision of what I wanted for the character. So she wanted to do it, but she didn't want, me to have to rewrite anything or anything like that. And so because of that, Brittany stepped up and she was like, "Listen, we're doing this. Like,
Yes,
I'm
right.
doing this. Be quiet, sit down." And so I had to just kind of, stay in my
Well, I tell
place
you
and
what,
let her take
Brittany,
care of that.
She's a godsend. That's awesome. Yeah, hats off to Brittany.
Yeah, she found my locations. We filmed at her grandparents' house for one location. One of her church members, she asked if we could film at their house. Tyler and Nick, they opened up their home.
Mm-hmm.
My parents let me film, so it just all kind of worked out with that. And then
Right.
with Thanks Dad, I used my cousin's home, and a young lady I went to school with, her daughter is in Thanks Dad. So she plays his son's love interest.
Okay. Right.
And so her name is Kayla, and she has a business, a bakery business,
Oh, that's
and it's
convenient.
called Kay's Creations.
Ah, right.
And
That's
so
convenient.
yeah, she actually
I like that.
provided the sweets and things on set.
Right.
So,
you got it down right here, actually. In
Yeah,
some of the credits.
so
Sweet.
it's
Yeah,
all
right.
it kind of all just worked in hand in hand. And like
That's
I
great.
said, my classmate and cousin, her daughter, she's also my cousin, did the makeup. So it all just
That's great.
came together.
I want to ask you. You said thanks, Dad. Was it the boy that said thanks, Dad? Who's the youngest person on the set?
The youngest person would have been my niece and nephew. They're twins. They're 10, and
They're
they
10.
played. My niece played the young Toya, and my nephew played my son's best friend.
Right. I have to
Yeah.
ask you real quick before we go. So how was it working with 10-year-olds? 10-year-olds.
Oh.
So
right.
let's just say that's not in the near future.
All right. Thank you.
I'm okay
Yes.
with that. I've done it. I came, I saw, conquered, and
Yeah.
we'll leave it there.
The reason I was
Gotta
asking.
finish.
The reason I was asking is Unit 68, our lead character, Gavin, was not 9 years old. And my gosh, we had a classroom scene of 25 9 and 10-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like we were shooting in the whole classroom of these kids. And okay, so you're going to have 25 9-year-olds sit in a chair for like 1 hour at a time and not
Oh,
move?
no.
Yeah.
No, I have,
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
My
David.
hat's off to you, bud.
Right. It's just like, Mr. David, I got to go to the bathroom. Mr. David, when can we finish? Mr. David, what's going on? Mr. David, one little girl, Mr. David, my tooth is falling out. And sure enough,
Yeah.
her tooth was falling out. I had to
Oh,
pull it
yeah.
out.
It was a lot of dancing on set.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
it
Yes,
was-
I love
yeah,
bringing kids
so.
into it, but like you said, they have their place. It's like grandparents. When you finish with them, get rid of them. Right. And when you
No,
want to
you
have them,
didn't.
when you want to have them back, bring them back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, well, sounds great. So so glad y'all came out for the show. Cannot wait to see it. We're going to report back on it whenever you have the premiere. Both premieres, actually, 2 of them.
Yes.
And so once again, the names of your 2 films are When Love's a Game,
Game.
Yes.
and Thanks, Dad.
Yes.
And that's premiering. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go.
That's going to be premiering December the 1st
Yes.
at Dead Poets Venue, correct? Venue
Yes. Correct.
in Baton Rouge, Louisiana,
Yes.
from 3 to 4.
4 to 7.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
4 to
From
7.
4 to 7.
Yes.
Again, that's going to be in Baton Rouge on December the 1st at the Dead Poets Venue, and that's going to be from 4 to 7.
Yes.
They're going to be playing Thanks, Dad.
Yes.
And following Thanks, Dad is going to be When Love's a Game.
Correct. Yes.
So everyone, please come out and support this wonderful, extremely talented
Thank you.
Filmmaker.
filmmaker here.
right.
I know you're going to love it. She just has an awesome vision and
Thank
a wonderful casting crew. So come support your local filmmakers and get out to Baton Rouge.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. And I'm glad you're doing that real quick before we leave, because let's take some stuff out of New Orleans and bring them toward Baton Rouge. I'm tired of going to New Orleans for everything.
Or Slidell.
Slidell's good too, right? The North Shore, right?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, thanks all very much. So we're gonna stick around a little bit later and have some autographs signed and everything. So.
Oh, yay.
Awesome. Thank you guys
Right.
so much for the opportunity. We
Well-
really, truly appreciate you.
Well, thank y'all for
you so
coming
much.
out.
Thank you
and,
so much.
we always ask this question before we go. Will y'all come back?
Absolutely.
Excellent. We always know the answer to that. I actually have had a couple of guests who don't want to come back for various reasons, but we'll leave it at that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not one of those guests. So make sure you give me a call.
Right. That sounds great. Okay, well, it sounds great. We're going to shut her down right here. And like we always say, for Timmy Gyro, for Carstil DaSilva, I like to name them all, for Dave the Bure, for Casey Fry, and for Grant Gyro, I'm David K. Gyro. This has been a Dave K. Show. Everybody have a wonderful and safe holidays. Be safe out there, and we'll see you on the next show.